I'm Anna, and up until recently, I thought I had everything figured out. Adam and I had been married for 3 years. We lived in a lovely apartment in a good neighborhood, and both of us had stable jobs. I worked at an advertising agency, and Adam was in charge of sales at a sports nutrition company. Our plan was simple: save money to buy a house, then start a family. We lived carefully, sharing one car. Every morning, Adam would drop me off at work before going to his office, and in the evenings, I'd find my own way home. It wasn't always easy, but we were determined to stick to our plan. Then Adam's sister, Mary, came to visit with her 3 kids. She was a single mom. Her husband had died in a car accident. Adam's parents, my in-laws, were very protective of her and wanted to make sure she never felt lonely. That's why they sent her to stay with us. When Mary arrived, Adam was thrilled. "Isn't it great to have them here?" he said as he helped with her bags. I nodded, trying to be as excited as he was. "Sure, it'll be nice to spend time together." At first, I thought Adam's attention to Mary and her kids was kind. He played with the children, listened to Mary's problems, and went out of his way to make them feel comfortable. But as days went by, his focus on Mary grew stronger. He started asking me to put her needs first too. "Anna, can you help Mary with the kids' laundry, or why don't you take Mary shopping? She needs to relax." I was already tired from work, and now I had to take care of Mary and her children. The situation got worse when Adam said, "Anna, Mary's going through a hard time. We need to make her stay as comfortable as possible. Can't you be more understanding?" I stared at him, disbelief filling me. "Adam, I'm trying, but I'm tired too. I work all day, then come home to cook and clean for everyone. I need a break as well." He frowned, clearly upset by my answer. "Mary is a single mom. She needs our support. You should be more sympathetic." As I watched Adam continue to fuss over Mary and her kids, a sinking feeling hit me. This wasn't just a short visit anymore. Something had changed, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like where this was headed. Days turned into weeks, and there was no sign that Mary was planning to leave. I was completely drained, both mentally and physically. After long days at the ad agency, I would come home, cook for everyone, and clean up the mess. Adam's constant complaints were wearing me out. "Anna, Mary doesn't like spicy food. Can't you make something else?" Adam said one evening. I held back my frustration and bit my lip to keep from crying. "Adam, I'm doing my best. I'm tired too, you know," I replied. "Mary's with the kids all day. She's exhausted and doesn't have time to cook," he shot back. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "I understand that, but—" "No buts, Anna. We need to support her," Adam interrupted. I nodded, staying quiet to avoid another argument. I understood Mary was going through a tough time, but I was tired of Adam's constant criticism. I just wanted things to go back to normal. One evening, as I was washing the dishes after dinner, Adam dropped a bombshell. "Anna, we need to talk," he said, leaning against the counter. I dried my hands, preparing myself. "What is it?" "Mary is thinking of looking for a job here in the city," he said, his voice full of excitement. I froze. "Oh, that's unexpected." "Yeah, isn't it great?" he continued, not noticing how uncomfortable I was. "But here's the thing, I think you should quit your job and take care of the kids and the house." The plate I was holding slipped from my hands and clattered into the sink.
"What?"
"You can't be serious." Adam frowned. "Of course I am. Mary needs to work, and someone has to watch the kids." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Adam, I'm not quitting my job to take care of someone else's children. That's not fair." "Fair? What's not fair is expecting Mary to handle everything on her own," he snapped. I took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. "Okay, let's think about this. Where is Mary going to live if she gets a job here?" Before Adam could answer, Mary walked into the kitchen with a big smile. "Oh, didn't Adam tell you? I'll be living here, of course, with my amazing brother, who understands me and supports me." I couldn't ask for a better brother. I stared at Adam, my eyes demanding an explanation. He shifted uncomfortably under my gaze. "Look, Anna, can we talk about this later?" he said, avoiding eye contact. "No, Adam. We need to talk about this now," I said, my voice shaking. "I'm not okay with this. We can't all live together. It's too cramped in this apartment for 7 people. Adam's face lit up like he had just thought of a brilliant idea. But honey, don't you see? This is perfect. We were planning to buy a house anyway, and now we have an even better reason to do it sooner. There'll be plenty of space for everyone. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Adam, that's not the point. We can't just, but he cut me off mid-sentence, his attention already somewhere else. Sorry, Anna. We'll talk later. I promised the kids I'd play with them. And just like that, he was gone, leaving me standing in the kitchen, my mouth wide open, feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. From that day, everything changed. Adam stopped driving me to work, always with the same excuse. Sorry, babe, I'm really busy this morning. I knew he wasn't telling the truth, but I couldn't prove it. So, I started commuting on my own, both in the morning and evening, adding even more stress to my already busy days. One afternoon, I came home early from work, hoping to start dinner early. Instead, I walked into complete chaos. Mary was lying on the couch, glued to some trashy reality show, while her kids were running wild. Mary, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. What's going on here? She barely looked up. Oh, hi, Anna. The kids were bored, so I let them play. I looked around in shock. The walls were covered in crayon marks. Strange stains were all over the couch, and my beloved houseplants, the ones I had cared for over the years, were knocked over, with soil scattered across the floor. This isn't playing, Mary. This is destroying our home, I said, unable to hide the frustration in my voice. Mary shrugged, her eyes already back on the TV. They're just kids, Anna. Lighten up. I took a deep breath, counting to 10 in my head. Mary, I thought you were looking for a job. Any luck? She waved her hand dismissively. Oh, I've sent my resume everywhere, but nothing good has come up yet. They all want too much work for too little pay. I'm not desperate, you know? I bit my tongue, holding back what I really wanted to say. Of course, she wasn't desperate. She had everything handed to her here, with Adam and me paying for everything and doing all the work. That night, as Adam and I got ready for bed, I tried again to talk to him. Adam, we need to set some ground rules. Mary can't just let the kids run wild like that, and she needs to start helping out around the house. Adam sighed, looking frustrated. Anna, Mary's going through a tough time. Can't you cut her some slack? Slack? Adam, I've been cutting her slack for weeks. Our home is being destroyed. I'm doing all the work, and you're acting like I'm the one being unreasonable. Keep your voice down, Adam whispered. You'll wake everyone up. Look, I know it's not perfect, but it's family. We have to stick together. As I lay in bed that night, listening to Adam's soft snores, I felt even more alone. I couldn't help but wonder when I stopped feeling like part of this family, and more importantly, how much longer I could live like this. As the days turned into weeks, things at home only got worse. Adam seemed completely unaware of the chaos his sister and her kids were creating. Whenever I tried to set some rules or ask the kids to clean up after themselves, Mary would run to Adam and complain. One evening, I overheard her talking to him in a fake concerned voice. Adam, I don't think Anna likes the kids. She's always yelling at them, making them clean. They're just kids, you know. I waited for Adam to defend me, to at least say that asking kids to clean up isn't cruel. But instead, I heard him sigh. I'm sorry, Mary. I'll talk to her. That night, Adam came to me in our bedroom. Anna, look at this place. It's a mess. If you can't keep it clean with the kids here, maybe what, Adam? I asked, already knowing where this was headed. Maybe you should think about quitting your job. If you were home full-time, you could keep the house in order without putting so much pressure on the kids. I laughed bitterly. So now it's child labor to ask kids to clean up after themselves? Adam, do you even hear yourself? But he wasn't really listening. He'd been pushing this idea for weeks, and I was tired of arguing about it. You know what, Adam?
Fine.
You want me to quit? I quit. His eyes widened in surprise. Really? You mean it? I nodded, a plan forming in my mind. Yep, I'll call work tomorrow and tell them. Adam's face lit up with a big grin, and he hugged me tightly, not noticing how stiff I was in his arms. Oh, Anna, this is great. You'll see. Everything will be better now. The next day, I did call work, but not to quit. I spoke with my boss, and explained that I needed to take a 4-month unpaid leave for family reasons. Luckily, I had recently trained an intern who could cover for me, and my boss was understanding and approved my request. When I told Adam I had quit, he beamed with pride, shooting a triumphant look at Mary. "See? I told you Anna would come around. She understands the importance of family." As I watched them share their little moment of victory, I felt like a stranger in my own home. But I reminded myself that this was only temporary. I had given myself 4 months to see how things would play out, to see if Adam would realize the mistake he was making. The next morning, as Adam left for work, he kissed me on the cheek. "Have a great day at home, honey. I know you'll do an amazing job." I forced a smile and waved as he drove away. Then I stood there, wondering what my next move would be. I turned to face the mess inside the house. Mary was already lounging on the couch, remote in hand, while her kids ran around making a bigger mess. From the moment I quit my job, my life turned into a never-ending cycle of chores and looking after Mary's kids. I'd wake up at dawn, make breakfast for everyone, pack Adam's lunch, and spend the rest of the day cleaning, cooking, and taking care of the children. Meanwhile, Mary acted like she was on a permanent vacation. Days blurred together with the same routine. Mary would head out to shop or meet friends for coffee, leaving her kids with me without a second thought. I'd watch her drive away in Adam's car while I was stuck at home, juggling housework and childcare. Adam seemed completely unaware of how unfair everything had become. He'd come home, kiss me on the cheek, and ask, "How was your day, honey?" As if I had chosen this life, as if I was living my dream instead of a sister's. One evening, while I was serving dinner after spending hours cooking, Adam made an announcement. "So, Mary's birthday is next month," he said with a big grin. "I've got something special planned." Mary clapped her hands, excited. "Ooh, tell me." Adam shook his head. "It's a surprise, but clear your evening on the 17th. On Mary's birthday, we all got into Adam's car and headed to LeBlanc, the fanciest restaurant in town. It was the kind of place Adam and I used to dream about going for our anniversaries, but we always decided to save the money for our house fund instead. When we arrived, Adam's parents were already there, doting on Mary and barely acknowledging me. As we settled into our seats, I couldn't help but feel like I didn't belong. It felt like I was on the outside, looking in on someone else's family celebration. Throughout the meal, the conversation was all about Mary, her struggles, her strength, her dreams. I sat quietly, pushing food around my plate, feeling more invisible with each passing minute. After the main course, Adam stood up, gently tapping his glass to get everyone's attention. "I'd like to make a toast," he said, "to my amazing sister, Mary. You've been through so much, and you handle everything with such grace. I'm in awe of your strength." Mary beamed, soaking up all the praise. Adam continued, "And to celebrate your birthday, I have a special surprise." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. For a split second, my heart leaped. Could this be a surprise for me? Maybe he was going to thank me for all the sacrifices I had made. But then, he turned to Mary and held out the box. "Mary, you've mentioned how hard it is getting around with the kids," he said, opening the box to reveal a set of car keys. "Happy birthday, sis. Your very own car, just like you've always wanted." The table erupted in applause and cheers. Mary jumped up, hugging Adam tightly. "Oh my God, Adam. I can't believe it. You're the best brother ever." I sat there frozen in shock. A car. He had bought her a car. My mind flashed back to all the times I had told Adam we needed a second car, and all the times he had said we couldn't afford it because we were saving for a house. "Adam," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "can I ask why you bought such an expensive gift for Mary?" The table went silent, and everyone looked at us. Adam's smile faded a bit. "Well, Mary needs a car. She has 3 kids, and it's hard for her to get them to the park or the doctor. Plus, she'll need it when she starts working soon." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "And what about me? I've been asking for a second car for months." Adam's expression turned cold. "You're at home all day, Anna. You don't need a car." The unfairness of it all hit me like a punch. "How much did this car cost, Adam?" I asked. He shifted uncomfortably in his seat. $60,000. The room started spinning. $60,000? Where did you get that kind of money? Adam cleared his throat. I took it from our joint account, but don't worry. I'll put it back when I get my bonus at work. Something inside me snapped. You took our savings without even talking to me? That was our house fund, Adam. I want you to return that money right now. Adam's mother gasped. Anna, how can you be so selfish? Your sister-in-law needs this car. I was beyond caring about their opinions. Years of frustration boiled over. Selfish? I've given up everything for this family, my job, my dreams, my identity. Adam's face turned red with anger. If you're going to be so greedy and inflexible, fine. I'll take out a loan and put the money back in our account. Happy now? No. I shouted, not caring about the scene we were making. I don't want you to take out a loan. I want you to sell the car and put our savings back where they belong. Mary, who had been quiet until now, suddenly spoke up. See, Adam? I told you she's controlling. She's trying to make you henpecked. Adam's parents nodded in agreement. Anna, his father said firmly, you need to learn your place. Adam is the head of this household. I felt like I was drowning, surrounded by people who didn't see me as a person, just someone meant to fit into their perfect family image. Adam stood up, his chair scraping loudly against the floor. That's enough, Anna. You've ruined everyone's evening with your behavior. Don't you know how to act in public? Tears stung my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I stood up, grabbed my purse, and said, I'm leaving. Good. Adam shouted, no longer caring about the other people in the restaurant staring at us. Get out, you ungrateful freeloader. I'm the one who earns the money in this family, and you should be obeying me. Maybe if you had a job, you'd have the right to an opinion. His words hit me like physical punches. I wanted to scream that I hadn't really quit my job, that I was only on leave, but the words stuck in my throat. What was the point? They had already decided who I was in their eyes. As I walked out of the restaurant, I could hear Adam's angry rant continuing behind me. She lives off my hard work and has the nerve to question my decisions. Can you believe it? The cool night air hit my face as I stepped outside, and the tears finally started to fall. I had never felt so humiliated, so angry, and so done. When I got to our apartment, my hands were shaking as I fumbled with the keys. The nanny looked up in surprise as I came in, tear-streaked and disheveled. I went straight to our bedroom, pulled out my suitcase, and began packing. I moved mechanically, gathering my clothes, toiletries, and a few precious mementos. I left a short note for Adam. I'm staying at a hotel. Don't try to contact me. The hotel room I checked into was small and plain, but it felt like a safe space. For the first time in months, I could breathe without the crushing weight of expectations and disappointment. That night, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, replaying the events of the evening in my mind. By morning, I knew what I had to do. As soon as the law offices opened, I made an appointment with a divorce attorney. Mary Shelley came highly recommended, known for her fair but firm approach. Mrs. Frank, she said, shaking my hand. Tell me what brings you here today. I poured out my story. The slow destruction of my marriage, the financial betrayal, the public humiliation. Mary listened carefully, taking notes. Based on what you've told me, the lawyer said when I finished, you have a strong case for divorce. Your husband's actions with the joint account are particularly concerning. Let's get started on drafting the initial paperwork. Over the next few days, I threw myself into building a new life. I found a small apartment close to my office, and I called my boss to explain the situation, asking if I could return from leave early. She was understanding and welcomed me back with open arms. As I settled into my new routine, I hoped for an amicable divorce. I wasn't seeking revenge, just fairness. I suggested mediation to Adam, thinking it would be the easiest way to end things. I'm not asking for much, I told him during our first session. Just return the money you spent on Mary's car, and we can split the remaining joint account evenly. Adam scoffed. Return the money? That car was a gift to my sister. You're being ridiculous. The mediator tried to help, but it was clear Adam wasn't going to budge. After 3 sessions with no progress, I realized we'd have to go to court. The next few months were a whirlwind of legal meetings, paperwork, and court appearances. Adam fought me every step of the way, trying to paint me as a greedy person trying to take away his sister's car. Finally, after what felt like forever, the judge made her ruling. The court finds that Mr. Frank's use of joint funds to purchase a vehicle for his sister without his spouse's consent was illegal. Mr. Frank is ordered to reimburse Mrs. Frank for half the value of the vehicle, as well as her legal fees. A wave of relief washed over me. It wasn't about the money. It was about justice. I wanted my voice to be heard and my rights to be recognized. As we left the courthouse, Adam's face was filled with anger. "I hope you're happy," he spat. "You've gotten what you wanted, you greedy, petty woman." Over the next few weeks, Adam followed the court's orders and transferred the money to my account. I later found out he had to take out a loan to cover it, but I couldn't feel guilty. He had made his choices, and now we both had to live with the consequences. For months after the divorce was finalized, I had settled into a peaceful routine. My small apartment had become a sanctuary, filled with the simple joys I had forgotten during my marriage. I had reconnected with old friends, immersed myself in my work, and even started a small herb garden on my balcony. For the first time in years, I felt like myself again. One quiet Friday afternoon, there was a knock at my door. I wasn't expecting anyone, so I cautiously approached and looked through the peephole. My heart skipped a beat. When I saw Adam standing there, looking disheveled and anxious, I thought about pretending I wasn't home. But curiosity got the better of me, and I opened the door. "Anna," Adam said, his voice hoarse. "Can we talk?" I hesitated, then nodded and stepped aside to let him in. He glanced around my apartment, taking in the cozy and organized space. "You look good," he said softly. "The place looks nice." "Thanks," I replied, still on guard. "What brings you here, Adam?" He sank onto the couch, running his hands through his hair. "I messed up, Anna. I see that now. I came to apologize and, well, to ask for your help." I sat in the armchair across from him, waiting for him to continue. "I lost my job," he blurted out. "The company downsized, and I was let go. I'm still paying off the loan for Mary's car, and I'm barely making ends meet. Mary, she refuses to sell the car or get a job. Says she's not ready yet." A small part of me felt a twinge of satisfaction hearing this, but I pushed it aside. "I'm sorry to hear that, Adam, but I'm not sure how I can help." He looked up at me, his eyes pleading. "The apartment is a mess. Mary doesn't clean, and the kids are out of control. The landlord is threatening to evict us because of the noise and mess. I realize now that you were right about everything. Mary's not just going through a rough patch. She's taking advantage of me, and I let her." I sat there, listening. The feeling of being right was bittersweet. Yes, I had been right, but at what cost? "Anna," Adam continued, his voice breaking. "I know I don't deserve it, but I was hoping we could start over. I've learned my lesson. I miss you. I miss us. Maybe with your help, we could fix things." For a moment, I was taken back to the early days of our marriage, the love we had, the dreams we shared, the future we had planned together. But then I remembered the betrayal, the humiliation, and the months of feeling invisible and unvalued. I took a deep breath. "Adam, I appreciate your apology, and I'm sorry you're going through a tough time, but I can't go back." His face fell. "But Anna, I've changed. I see things clearly now." I shook my head gently. "The thing is, Adam, I've changed too. These past few months have shown me what I'm capable of and what I deserve. If you betrayed me once, how can I trust you wouldn't do it again when things get hard?" "I wouldn't," he insisted. "I've learned my lesson." "Maybe you have," I said softly, "but that doesn't change the fact that I'm happier now. I found freedom in being on my own, in making my own choices without worrying about a partner who didn't value my opinions." Adam's shoulders slumped.
"So, that's it?"
"There's no chance for us." I stood up, making it clear the conversation was over. "I think it's best if you go, Adam. I really hope things get better for you, but I'm not the answer to your problems. You need to find your own path and make your own decisions." He nodded slowly and got to his feet. At the door, he turned to me one last time. "I really am sorry, Anna, for everything." "I know," I said quietly. "Goodbye, Adam." As I closed the door behind him, I leaned against it and let out a long breath. A mix of emotions filled me. sadness for the dreams we once shared, a little satisfaction at seeing Adam face the consequences of his actions. But more than anything, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief and freedom.